Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today yet again I'm doing one of these videos where I'm answering all your questions and all your comments. So if you're still not subscribed to this channel, make sure to subscribe, because that way you will know that I answered your question. Now from now on, every time I answer the question in one of these videos, I will click the heart button on the comment, just so that then you know that I already addressed it in a video and you can check out the answer. So without further ado, let's get straight into your comments. The first question is from Althea Bright. Hi, need your help. My I-130 approved and I'm still waiting. I-130 is the petition for alien relative. Now whenever you apply, whenever you approve it, whenever it's being approved, right, by USCIS, it is being transferred to the NVC, which is basically the next step in the whole process for the family reunion. In this particular question, we kind of do need to know a little bit more information, because it really depends on the categories of the family. For example, for an immediate relative, like for example spouse, children, it's much faster than, for example, for a sibling, which is also an immediate relative, but still for siblings it takes much longer. For children and spouses, it usually takes between somewhere, it can be between 4 months and a year, and for siblings it might be several years. I've heard cases where it takes up to 5 years, 7 years, where the siblings wait. Unfortunately, it takes much longer. So that's what really it depends on. But while you're waiting, Althea, I definitely do recommend going through and learning as much about the NVC portal. By now, hopefully, you already should have the access to the portal. So go through it, submit all the documentation that is needed, pay all of the fees that you need to pay on NVC portal, and the rest is just waiting game. That's really it. But let's move on to the next one. We got a question from Kamal. My dad I-130 got approved. Congratulations. After 2 weeks. Very nice. That's actually very, very quick. Usually it takes a little bit longer for the USCIS to approve the cases like I-130. Now cases in NVC. Yep, just like we mentioned in the first one. When is good time to apply for his green card? Okay, Kamal. So that's actually a great question, and I have an answer for you that probably will make you really happy. Really good news is that you don't need to apply for green card. Basically all the process is done, if you already done everything on NVC, if you already got your NVC case number and you can access the portal, you will see the list of all the documentation that you need to submit through the portal. Pay the fees. There's application fee, there's a visa fee. Just pay all of these fees in advance, submit all the documentation. When all of this documentation is reviewed and approved, once NVC is good to go, your dad will be scheduled an interview, immigrant visa interview at the local embassy in your country. And then once he gets the visa, he will come in to the United States with that visa. Once he gets that stamp in the airport over that visa is automatically converted to a temporary permanent resident card. So it becomes a temporary green card. And then in about a month, 2 months time, he will get his actual physical green card in the mail. So very, very straightforward. There is no separate application for green card, that's the good news. All you really need to do is just follow all the instructions in the NVC portal. Okay, let's move on to the next one again from Kamal. Very, very clear information. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next one from Joseph Powell. Very clear and straightforward. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Let's move on to the next one from Miriam. Okay, this is for the petitioner. What about beneficiary? If they move, I still live in my same address. What happens if my husband moved, changed his residence? I'm the USA citizen. I have not moved. Only my husband moved. I'm petitioning him. Where does he go to change and update his address? Please advise. Okay, so it's the same exact process for whether you are a petitioner, whether you're a beneficiary. Basically, in this video, change of address during the immigration process, I described several steps of address change, right? The first thing you want to do is you want to change your USPS. Okay, I wanted to say USCIS. The first thing you want to do is change your USPS address, right? So you go to USPS website, which is US Postal Service website. All the links are in the video. You change the address there so that all your physical mail can be redirected to your new address. All right. The next thing you do is you change your USCIS. You submit a form to USCIS to change the address, and it can be done by the petitioner. It can be done by the beneficiary. It really doesn't matter. All you're doing there is you're putting your name, you're putting your old address, you're putting your new address, so that USCIS is aware that, okay, you are moved, and whatever kind of documentation, receipts, whatever notices that are associated with the immigration case, they can send to the correct address now. And obviously the very last thing you want to do, which, I mean, you can do it all at the same time within one day, is to go to DMV and get an updated ID or driver's license, right, with the new address. So that's it. Hopefully I answered your question. Let's move on to the next one from Carlos. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Maria Vargas tagged somebody, and hola, soy dominicana. Unfortunately I do not speak, but if you can translate, please do, and I will be happy to answer. English, please. Okay, let's move on to next one from Gurpreet Singh. Hello, sir. I'm active duty military member. My spouse's case got approved last year, November 2022. Do I have to wait for welcome letter through NVC or something else? I'm so confused from last 2 months. Please help. I'm waiting for 4 years. Whew. Wait a second. Wait. So my spouse's case got approved last year, November 22. So wait, okay, so case was approved only what? January, December. Okay, so about 2-3 months ago it was approved. Do I need to wait to welcome letter through NVC or something else? So from last 2 months. Please help. I'm waiting from 4 years. I'm not sure why it took so long, 4 years for the approval. Because if it's a spouse's case, usually spouse's cases are really quick. So that kind of threw me off. Usually it should not take that long. Okay, but congratulations, now that it is approved. Yes, you get stuff in the email or by mail. It depends which option was selected during the application, initial application, I-130 with USCIS. So if you did not get the email, if your spouse did not get the email, I would definitely reach out. If you can access your old application that you submitted to USCIS, looks like it was a long time ago. If you can find it, check what kind of email you mentioned there. Check the spam folders because it comes in the email. You get the case number, you get the, I think, the reference number or something like that. Basically 2 different numbers that allow you to access that NVC portal. It's very important to have that information because that is the next step. You have to access that NVC portal. You have to submit quite a few documents through that portal. You have to pay a few fees through that portal. That is the next step. So definitely try to find that email. If you cannot find it anywhere, you will have to reach out to USCIS, ask where it went, and how you can actually, because you tell them that you received the notification that you were approved. And again, if you received the notification that you were approved, you know that you were approved. How did you receive it? Did you receive it by mail? Did you receive it through email? That would be the next course of action. You definitely do need the access to that NVC portal. On the plus side, the case is approved, so everything is going well. Everything is moving forward. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got the question from Blaze 2051. Anyone know what is the P22 under category is equivalent to on the online I-90 form on USCIS, because I can't find it or it's not listed. So if you don't know what is equivalent to P22, I have never heard of anything like P22 category. So let us know what kind of status you have. If you can comment in the comment, let us know what kind of status you have, because depending on what kind of application, it actually might be a different classification. It might be a different category. For example, Is it a visa? Did you enter it on a visa? Let's say, for example, if you enter like B1, B2, right? Travel visa. It might be just B1, B2, or it might just say visitor visa. All right, so it's kind of requiring more information to answer that. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Guzal Sabirova. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. Another thank you from Shinura. You're welcome. Thank you very much for this. All right, Raphael, you're welcome. Let's move on to the next one, and I will do it up until here, and hopefully we will finish up this video, so it's not too long. So the last one I'll answer is from Joseph. Okay, so Raphael, let's move on to the Smart Investor 4627. First, this is the most helpful video. Well, I'm glad it was useful for you. I have a question. I want to submit proof of return home ticket, but my initial ticket will have me return home on March 16, 2023, and the travel agent cannot change my flight ticket. What the chance if I submit without return date yet? Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the question on I-539 visa extension. Okay, so whenever it comes to the actual application for I-539, there is really no straightforward requirement, all right, to provide that return ticket. Okay, it's not necessary. Whenever it comes to the return date, estimation is completely fine. So if you already have an actual return date, you can put whatever. If it's not March 16 anymore, if you change that date, just put something approximate, right? So if you're thinking it's going to be in the beginning of March, just give yourself extra 2 weeks just in case, say March 15th, right? If you think it's going to be in April, just give yourself extra whatever months maybe, and say April, May 2023, and that should be completely sufficient. Why? Because most of the times whenever your I-539 is approved, whenever your visa is extended, most of the times it's not extended based on what you said, it's just extended for the next 6 months. That's really it. That's very straightforward. So hopefully I was able to answer your question. Let's move on to the next one from Brenda Torres. Hi, my US husband died August 3, 2021. Very sorry to hear that, Brenda. He was abusive towards me. Jeez, sorry. Very sorry to hear that, Brenda. And my 16-year-old daughter. We got together in 2011, then married 2014. He changed after 6 months when he caused me great harm by provoking me a miscarriage. Wow. Soon after that, I filed a restraining order against him. Then I hired an attorney to help me file for VAWA, that's victims of abuse. I've done a separate video mentioning that. I got the biometrics letter in the mail, so I went to get fingerprinted, but then soon after I had problems with the babysitter of my kids, and she called CPS on me. Then I became homeless with 3 kids. The police were then following me around. They pulled me over with my 2 US kids, one being 12 years old and my baby 6 months old. He asked me if I was drunk or under the influence, then they arrest me and take my kids to CPS. Little did I know that he had violated my constitutional rights. Soon I ignorantly pleaded guilty to an aggravated felony. Went to jail for 3 months or so, then ICE custody. Then I was deported, but I came back unlawfully. What should I do? Do I qualify for widow I-360? Okay, Brenda, this is obviously, a complicated situation, and I can give you this advice, that advice, whatever, but I want to give you something that matters, and not just another, oh yeah, do this documentation or do that. I recommend you finding a good church first and foremost, and build your relationship with God, okay? Because whenever we get to that point in our life, and there's just stuff happening and it seems like it's getting worse and worse, it shows us that God is calling us, and we need to change something about our ways, about what we're doing. We're doing something wrong, clearly. Okay, so that would be priority number 1. Number 2 is the advice that I can give you is that you definitely do need help whenever it comes to immigration. It's not much that if you keep going on your own in this, you might make it worse. So you definitely need some kind of representation. There's a lot of free legal help out there in the immigration law. There's pro bono lawyers, for example. You can search for those. That's most of the times either very, very cheap or completely free. There's immigration practitioners. That's not immigration attorneys, but it's people, organizations that are authorized by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to provide immigration advice. It's not going to be necessarily legal advice like from an attorney, but it's still going to be an immigration advice from an authorized, someone who is authorized to do that. All right, on this channel that I am doing, this is not a legal advice, this is not an immigration advice. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an immigration practitioner. All the information that I provide is the same information that is openly available on USCIS.gov. all right, that's it. In your situation, you definitely need way more than someone saying something on the internet. So I'm going to pray for you, Brenda, and I really hope that you can get out of all of this and make it better for yourself. Okay, let's move on to the Frozen Jan. Please tell me about F3 visa update. So F3 visa, that is F3 visa, student visa, one of the dependent student visas. I'm not entirely sure what kind of update you are referring to, so please let me know a little bit more details in the comments below. If you want, though, to find more information, all of the information, any kind of updates that you're looking for, USCIS.gov. Alright, let's move on to the next one from Suman Subedi. Thank you for the video. I'm applying I-539 for my parents, but it's saying single payment. Combined payments of USCIS fees and biometrics are not accepted starting from April 1, 2022. Is there any way to make separate payments? Okay, so Suman, if you are applying online, then yes, you can only file for one person at a time. If you want to file a combined application, then you have to mail it separately. Here's the thing though, I definitely do recommend mailing in this case, and which is weird because usually I say, hey, file online, because whenever you mail it separately, whenever you put two people on the application, you only pay one fee. So you are saving yourself a whole another application payment. All right, so yes, it is correct. From April 1st, 2022, that's it. You cannot file online combined. You have to file it separately for two people on one application. That is, you can file separately two applications online, but you will end up, paying double when you don't need to do that if you file by mail. It's a little weird, honestly. Don't ask me why. It's whatever, strange. I'm not sure why you can't do that online and just pay one payment. It just doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. Hopefully it will change soon. All right, so let's get to the last comment in this video, and I'm gonna go through and put the hearts on all the comments that I addressed in this video. Hopefully you watched through it, and if you have any additional questions, you can put them in the comments below. And again, I'll try to do it at least once a week, just go through all of your comments and answer the questions. So from Joseph Ladi, hello sir, I made a comment on your video last time, but I didn't get your reply. I'm still expecting my I-130 approval. Very sorry that I didn't get to your comment just yet. I get quite a lot of comments daily. So whenever it comes to I-130 approval, again, it really depends on who you filed, who you petitioned for. Okay, if you're petitioning for your wife, your children, that is going to be the case that is going to be reviewed, processed fastest. All right, that's the category A. Category B is moving on now to parents. All right, parents, it takes a little bit longer, but still pretty quick. And then there's another category that is for siblings, brother, sister, that takes the longest. So it depends on who you filed for. If you filed for your spouse, your children, then I would say between 3 months and a year. That's the processing time. For parents, I would say, between 6 months and year and a half. And then brothers, sisters, it takes years. All right. I know some people that already waited for 7 years and it's still nothing. So it really depends on who you are petitioning for. So, like I said, let me know in the comments below if you have any additional questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Again, this is not, I'm not an attorney. This is not a legal advice by any means. All the information is available on the official USCIS.gov website, which is this right here. I'll put the link in the description below. As always, thank you for watching. God bless you all, and I will see you in the next video.